Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be chatting all about the beauty benefits of bone broth. It is a beauty elixir. It does wonderful things for your hair, your skin, your nails, even helping in weight loss. So if that's something that's interesting to you and you're curious about how I make it, stick around to the end of this video because I will be sharing with you my at-home recipe that is idiot-proof and delicious. So give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and let's just jump right in. Okay everyone, so grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of bone broth, and let's just dive in. So I started drinking bone broth about 5 years ago because I was feeling very depleted. I was newly postpartum with my first baby, and I knew that bone broth had amazing benefits, and I'd been recommended it just to help replenish some of those lost minerals that my baby was sucking the life out of me from. I'd go to the grocery store, I'd buy my carton of bone broth. Back then, it was so much less expensive than it is now. Let me tell you, I feel like the price of groceries has gone up, and bone broth has like tripled in price. That's why I make it now. So you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video so we can jump into my recipe. It's so easy, it's so yummy. I prefer it so much more to the store-bought bone broth, but I digress. Let's go back to my little story. So I'd get my cartons of bone broth, I'd come home, I'd drink it every morning on an empty stomach like you're supposed to, and then I started noticing amazing benefits. Yes, I started feeling better, of course. It started replenishing all those lost minerals and antioxidants and things that I was missing, but the beauty benefits were amazing. So I started drinking bone broth and I started noticing things with my hair, my skin, my nails, and even losing the baby weight. So let's just jump into some of those amazing beauty benefits that bone broth has to offer. Starting out with skin. So bone broth is made of collagen and gelatin, and these things are going to help your skin in so many ways. Collagen is really going to get to your skin epidermis, which is the bottom layer of your skin, and helping it really keep it plump and firm and keeping it healthy. So when your skin cellular turnover comes, your fresh skin underneath is just going to be chef's kiss. Thank you to bone broth. Gelatin is amazing. It's just a broken down form of collagen, and when you ingest it, then your body then in turn produces collagen, which is of course the biggest beauty word, buzzword out there right now. It's going to help with your skin elasticity. It will help with your firmness, hydration, and also those fine lines and wrinkles. Bone broth is also full of amino acids, which are going to help support and repair your skin if it's damaged or just in the cellular turnover. It's also going to fight inflammation in your skin, and it's also full of antioxidants, which are going to fight, all the free radicals in the natural world and oxidization and all that stuff that we're facing externally. So if I haven't told you already, bone broth is incredible for your skin. I highly recommend drinking it. What I've noticed with it is just like a little bit more of a glow. I found like my skin was maybe a little firmer, and it started recovering a lot easier, and it was also a lot calmer. It wasn't as inflamed, and I think that was because of gut health. Bone broth is amazing for your gut health. It helps seal a leaky gut, especially if it's gelatinous. It's got a lot of collagen in it. It will fight things like inflammation, which can show up in acne, in rosacea, and eczema. So not only is it great for your gut health, but it's also going to be beneficial for your skin if you're facing any of these concerns. Another amazing benefit for your gut and addressing your leaky gut or your gut health is that I found that I could digest foods so much easier. Starting with drinking bone broth every morning on an empty tummy, and then as I went on the day and I was eating, my carbohydrates or even, treats or whatever I was eating, I just felt like I could digest it so much better, and I was never facing bloat like I used to. I used to get bloated quite a bit, but ever since I started drinking bone broth, it's really addressed it, and I feel like I don't get bloated. I don't want to say never because I'm human, but I rarely get bloated if I am drinking bone broth regularly. I try to stick to 1 cup in the morning, but sometimes I wind down at the end of the night with a cup of bone broth. Usually I'll do tea, but sometimes if I'm feeling like I need a little bit of extra nutrients or feeling run down, another cup of bone broth is how I'll end my day. Just addressing your digestion, it has been unbelievable. That was one of the first things I noticed, was how I could digest food and how food made me feel. Drinking bone broth has completely changed the game for how I eat food. I can just digest things so much easier, and I'm a little more mindful, I guess, of how I eat if I start my day with bone broth. But yes, for your gut health, sealing a leaky gut, addressing some of these issues, it has been a game changer. Bone broth is so full of minerals like phosphorus, magnesium, calcium, zinc, sulfur, and all these things are going to help with your bone health, and they're also going to reduce stress. Everyone knows that stress is going to make you look a certain way. There's that term cortisol face where you get that puffy face. If you're at stress management, you're just going to look more like you. You're going to be glowing. You're going to be happier. Incorporating bone broth is going to replenish some of these minerals that can address stress and, of course, your bone health. It's also full of electrolytes and hydration, and of course, they're gonna make you look better. Some of those nutrients I just mentioned, being the phosphorus, proteins and minerals and zincs and sulfurs, are all going to help with your hair, but so is biotin. If you're someone that has thinning hair, especially if you're postpartum, or if you have dull hair, this is really just going to help with shiny, fuller hair. It's going to help give you longer, stronger hair, and that's because it's going to support keratin, which is a building block in your hair and your nails for growth. It will help strengthen your hair follicles, which in turn will make your hair grow and be strong and beautiful and shiny. That was another thing I noticed with it. I never experienced postpartum hair loss as badly as maybe some of my friends. And I think every case is different. And of course, there are a lot of factors that go into that. But I actually noticed my hair was very shiny, very healthy, very full in my postpartum. And I do have to say that bone broth probably played a big, big role in that. And as well as my nails. So these are my real nails. Yes, I have long nails, I know. And how do you change a diaper with these things? Well, you do, you figure it out. But they grow so strong, they're not brittle. My cuticles are very, very minimal. I have to attribute that to drinking bone broth, or a part of it, with those nutrients and the keratin and all of those wonderful minerals just helping me along the way. So thank you everyone for watching this portion. I hope you found some great benefits of drinking bone broth. I think it's such a beauty elixir. It's so easy to make, so let's just go and dive right into making it right now. Okay guys, so we are going to make beef bone broth. You can easily make it with chicken, but my bone of choice today is beef. I'm gonna start my oven and I'm just gonna roast these for a good 45 minutes before I add them to my soup, placing them in a little baking tray, and I think I'll put some little Himalayan salt on them for extra flavor. Okay, into the oven they go for a good 45 minutes, and grabbing my Instant Pot. You can easily make this soup with a soup pot on your stove, but for me, I'm using the Instant Pot. Just roughly chopping up a couple carrots, tossing them in, roughly chopping up a couple celery, putting it in, an onion, rough chop, in it goes. And some garlic. I used about 6 cloves. You can add less or more depending on what you like. Bones come out, they're looking pretty good, and into the pot they go. I like the fat, I like the drippings, I put it all in there. Fat is flavor, people, and I don't shy away from it. Adding a splash of apple cider vinegar, some star anise for seasoning, peppercorns, and then some more salt. You can add salt to taste when you drink it per cup, a bay leaf, and now our water. I'm going to fill it up right until the max line on my Instant Pot. You just want to make sure all the bones and everything is covered. Okay, back to the Instant Pot, press start, and I have it for 3 hours on slow release. It will take about 5 hours until it's done. Just using a pair of tongs, I'm going to try to take out as much of the solids as I can, those bones, the carrots, the celery, the onion, into a separate bowl before I drain and strain my soup. Grabbing a nice colander, good strainer, putting it into my sink with a bowl underneath that's big enough to fit everything. There's still quite a bit of solids in there, but that's okay. The strainer will catch everything. And it's looking and smelling so good. Okay, removing that guy. I like to use these silicone little containers for freezing. About 4 or 5 of them per batch, I would say, and the rest of the soup I just put in my fridge. And it is good for up to 5 days. So I drink it first in the fridge, and then when I'm done, I'll grab a pack from the freezer. As you can see, just running it under hot water, it is so easy to take out. And that is my bone broth for the day. So thank you so much everyone for watching. If you like this video, give it a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and we will see you in the next one.